Dalmatia is one of the four historical regions of Croatia, alongside Croatia proper, Slavonia, and Istria. Dalmatia is a narrow coastal region, stretching from island of Rab in the north to the Bay of Kotor in the south. The hinterland ranges in width from 50 kilometers in the north to just a few kilometers in the south. It is mostly covered by rugged Dinaric mountains. 79 islands run parallel to the coast, the largest being Brac, Pag and Hvar. The largest city is Split, followed by Zadar, Dubrovnik, and Šabenik. Name of the region stems from an Illyrian tribe called the Dalmata, who lived in the area in classical antiquity. Later it became a Roman province, and as a result a Romance culture emerged, along with the now extinct Dalmatian language, later largely replaced with related Venetian. With the arrival of Croats to the area in the 8th century, who occupied most of the hinterland, Croatian and Romance elements began to intermix in language and the culture. During the Middle Ages, its cities were often conquered by, or switched allegiance to, the kingdoms of the region. The longest-lasting rule was the one of the Republic of Venice, which controlled most of Dalmatia between 1420 and 1797, with the exception of the small but stable Republic of Ragusa in the south. Between 1815 and 1918, it was as a province of Austrian Empire, known as the Kingdom of Dalmatia. After the Austro-Hungarian defeat in World War I, Dalmatia was split between the Kingdom of Serbs, Croats, and Slovenes, which controlled most of it, and the Kingdom of Italy, which held several smaller parts, and after World War II, SFR Yugoslavia took control over the complete area. The name Dalmatia derives from the name of the Dalmata tribe, which is connected with the Illyrian word del meaning sheep. Its Latin form Dalmatia gave rise to its current English name. In Venetian language, once dominant in the area, it is spelled Dalmatia, and in modern Italian Dalmatia. The modern Croatian spelling is Dalmatia, pronounced Dalmatia. Dalmatia is referenced in the New Testament at 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 10, so its name has been translated in many of the world's languages. Definition: in antiquity, the Roman province of Dalmatia was much larger than the present-day split Dalmatia county, stretching from Istria in the north to historical Albania in the south. Dalmatia signified not only a geographical unit, but was an entity based on common culture and settlement types. A common narrow eastern Adriatic coastal belt, Mediterranean climate, sclerophyllous vegetation of the Illyrian province, Adriatic carbonate platform, in karst geomorphology. Modern area Dalmatia is today an historical region only, not formally instituted in Croatian law. Its exact extent is therefore uncertain and subject to public perception. According to Lena Mirosevic and Josip Farisic of the University of Zadar, the modern perception of Dalmatia is mainly based on the territorial extent of the Austrian Kingdom of Dalmatia, with the exception of Rab Island, which is geographically related to the Varna area and functionally to the littoral Gorski Kotar area, and with the exception of the Bay of Kotor, which was annexed to another state after World War I. Simultaneously, the southern part of Lika and Upper Pounj, which were not a part of Austrian Dalmatia, became a part of Zadar County. From the present-day administrative and territorial point of view, Dalmatia comprises the four Croatian littoral counties with seats in Zadar, Šabenik, Split, and Dubrovnik. Dalmatia is therefore generally perceived to extend approximately to the borders of the Austrian Kingdom of Dalmatia. However, due to territorial and administrative changes over the past century, the perception can be seen to have altered somewhat with regard to certain areas, and sources conflict as to their being part of the region in modern times. The Bay of Kotor area in Montenegro, with the subdivision of the Kingdom of Yugoslavia into oblasts in 1922. The whole of the Bay of Kotor from Sutorina to Sutomor was granted to the Zeta Oblast. so that the border of Dalmatia was formed at that point by the southern border of the former Republic of Ragusa. The Encyclopaedia Britannica defines Dalmatia as extending to the narrows of Kotor. Other sources, however, such as the Tricony Encyclopedia and the Rough Guide to Croatia, still include the bay as being part of the region. The island of Rab, along with the small islands of Sveta Gora and Goli, were part of the Kingdom of Dalmatia and are historically and culturally related to the region, but are today associated more with the Croatian littoral, due to geographical vicinity and administrative expediency. Gračac municipality in northern Pag. A number of sources express the view that, from the modern-day administrative point of view, the extent of Dalmatia equates to the four southernmost counties of Croatia: Zadar, Šibenik, Nin, Split, Dalmatia, and Dubrovnik-Neretva. This definition does not include the Bay of Kotor, nor the islands of Rab, Sveta Gora, and Goli. It also excludes the northern part of the island of Pag, which is part of the Ličajske county. However, it includes the Gračac municipality in Zadar county, which was not a part of the Kingdom of Dalmatia and is not traditionally associated with the region. Culture and ethnicity. The inhabitants of Dalmatia are culturally subdivided into two or three groups. The urban families of the coastal cities, sometimes known as Fetabai, are culturally akin to the inhabitants of the Dalmatian islands. The two are together distinct, in the Mediterranean aspects of their culture, from the more numerous inhabitants of the Zagora, the hinterland, referred to as the Vlagi. The latter are historically more influenced by Ottoman culture, merging almost seamlessly at the border with the Herzegovinian Croats and southern Bosnia and Herzegovina in general. The former two groups historically included many Venetian and Italian speakers, many of whom identified as Italians. Their presence, relative to those identifying as Croats, decreased dramatically over the course of the 19th and the first half of the 20th century. The Italian speakers constituted nearly one-third of Dalmatians in the second half of the 18th century. According to the Austrian census, it had decreased to 12.5% in 1865 and 3.1% in 1890. There remains, however, a strong cultural, and, in part, ancestral heritage among the natives of the cities and islands, who today almost exclusively identify as Croats, but retain a sense of regional identity. Geography and climate. Most of the area is covered by Dinaric Alps mountain ranges running from northwest to southeast. On the coasts the climate is Mediterranean, while further inland it is moderate Mediterranean. In the mountains, winters are frosty and snowy, while summers are hot and dry. To the south winters are milder. Over the centuries many forests have been cut down and replaced with bush and brush. There is evergreen vegetation on the coast. Elsewhere, land cultivation is mostly unsuccessful because of the mountains, hot summers and poor soils, although olives and grapes flourish. Energy resources are scarce. Electricity is mainly produced by hydropower stations. There is a considerable amount of bauxite. The largest Dalmatian mountains are Dinara, Mosor, Svilaj, Biokovo, Mosik, Veliki Kozjak and Mali Kozjak. The regional geographical unit of historical Dalmatia, the coastal region between Istria and the Gulf of Kotor, includes the Orjen mountain with the highest peak in Montenegro, 1,894 meters. In present-day Dalmatia, the highest peak is Dinara, which is not a coastal mountain, while the highest coastal Dinaric mountains are on Biokovo and Velbet, although the Vaganski VRH itself is located in Ličajske county. The largest Dalmatian islands are Brač, Korčula, Dugi-Otok, Mljet, Vis, Hvar, Pag and Pasman. The major rivers are Zrmanja, Krka, Cetin and Neretva. The Adriatic Sea's high water quality, along with the immense number of coves, islands and channels, makes Dalmatia an attractive place for nautical races, nautical tourism, and tourism in general. Dalmatia also includes several national parks that are tourist attractions: Paklenica Karst River, Kornata Archipelago, Krka River Rapids, and Jet Island. Administrative division. The area of Dalmatia roughly corresponds to Croatia's four southernmost counties, listed here north to south. Other large Dalmatian cities include Beograd, Kaštela, Sinj, Solin, Omiš, Nin, Metković, Makarska, Trogir, Ploča, and Imotski.